The English language is now spoken in more than 100 countries. Variety of world English include American, Australian, Bangladesh, British, Canadian, Caribbean, Chicano, Chinese. I am going to focus on Chicano English, which is spoken by Mexican Americans. It was born from the Mexican Spanish and American English. Chicano English is spoken by children of immigrants. This is because they learn English, but they modify it with their native language. Some researchers argue that Chicano English is neither a pidgin nor Spanglish. According to Maciel and Bueno, 1975, this variety presents some characteristics. It was the result of Mexican-American War. Chicano people are different from another sector of American population. Chicano people has experienced an impressive growth because of the constant immigration, the low socioeconomic status, and the proximity that Chicano people still have with Mexico. Location and population. Chicano are in 5 states of the south of the USA: California, Texas, Arizona, New Mexico, and Colorado. Around 87% of the total Chicano population live there, being California and Texas the states in which the majority lives in. According to the 2014 census, 13 millions of people live there, but in Los Angeles, the 45% of the population, that is around 6 million of the 13 millions. Origin and history. According to Moore, 1972, the south of USA was once part of Mexico. It all started with the colonization of Spaniards in the Texas territory until 1821. In this year, Mexico got its independence from Spaniards. After that, a series of events provoked the war between USA and Mexico, which ended with the signing of the Treaty of Guadalupe Hidalgo in 1848. In that year, Mexico recognized the annexation of Texas to the United States, and USA took the territories between California and Texas. This means that the population that used to live there was considered later as American. English and Spanish speakers come into contact with each other, especially because of trade between Mexico and the USA. The descendants of early Mexican immigrants grew up bilingual and shaped the dialects of these regions. Classification according to Kakru and Meir. Kakru has divided the varieties of our English into 3 circles: inner, outer, and expanding. The inner circle corresponds to USA, UK, Canada, Australia, and New Zealand, and represent the traditional basis of English, including variety of language. Chicano English gets fit into this classification because it's a variety of American English. According to Otto, 1992, Chicano English is the speech of native speakers. Denham and Lobeck emphasize that Chicano English is not learned English, it's a fully developed variety of English, the native of many of its speakers. Other researchers refer that many speakers of Chicano English are monolingual in English and learn this variety like native speakers learn any other variety of English. According to the Meir model, Chicano is a non-star language into the supercentral varieties. Fenfield states that Chicano is a non-star English variety of English which has originated from contact with Spanish. According to Fouth, Chicano English is a non-star variety of English influenced by contact with Spanish and spoken as a native dialect by both bilingual and monolingual speakers. Remarkable features. Due to the origin of Chicano English and considering it a variety of American English, the linguistic process is characterized by General American. Chicano has a remarkable similarity to Spanish phonology. It may occur in the realization of particular sounds, stress, pattern, and intonation. The alternation of sh by sh, where words like show are pronounced like show, and check is pronounced like shake. Some scholars explain this substitution to sh by sh as a phenomenon of hypercorrection since Spanish does not have the phoneme sh. There is a devoicing of the letter z in all environments. So in this case, Chicano English pronounced guys was easy. Inside of guys was easy. The deposit of va in word final position. Love, have is pronounced as love, have. Chicano speakers say the letter v and v in the same way. Very and invite, I pronounce it that very, invite, and the absence of dental fricatives. So in this case, think is pronounced like think, or think. Stress pattern and intonation. Another characteristic in Chicano English is intonation or prosody. Chicano English speaker ends his or her sentence with a rising pitch, whereas in standard English, declarative sentence, a falling intonation is used. Stress is often placed on one syllable prefixes as well as roots. In American Standard English, say today. Chicano English say today. Decide, decide. Fuse, refuse. Chicano English grammar. Spanish use the double negative, which is reflected in Chicano English grammar. They say, I didn't do nothing. I don't know no stories. Also, Spanish has a preposition en that corresponds to in and on in English. People who speak Chicano English usually use in, where standard English requires on. Example, Macarena, got in the bus, inside, got on. Prepositional phrases rather than possessive pronouns. The car of my brother is red, inside of my brother's car is red. And also the verb to be. American English say they are too old. Chicano supreme the verb to be and say they too old. False friends. Pregnant and embarrassing don't mean the same. Embarrassing is when somebody feels ashamed. That means avergonzado. The English verb molest sounds like the Spanish verb molestar. That means in English bother or disturb, but doesn't mean exactly the same thing. Molest in English has a sexual meaning. And gang and bargain. Although ganga may be heard in Spanish as a word for gang, the usual word is pandilla. Reflects about what the arrival of English language implies for that community. Can you imagine that Polish people arrive at your house and after disposing of your things, you have to adapt to their costumes, their language through a socio-political domination process? I can understand their feelings of hopelessness, rebellion. With this social framework, we can begin to understand the psychological and social impact that this perspective have on the Chicano community. Manifestation of language by the culturization process, ethnic identity, confusion, and marginalization. However, with a dominant feeling of community with the slogan, we did not cross the border crossed us, the Chicano community was born in response to several years of social oppression and discrimination in an American society, creating a strong political and cultural presence in the USA. Also, in Italy, Chicano was considered a pejorative word. The Chicano people have been empowered, and today, after overcoming several social struggles, they assume with great pride his identity, affirming his freedom and civil rights as people who deserve to be treated with equal rights and social justice. Thank you so much.